Today I received Julien Bouteloup. How to describe Julien? Investor, entrepreneur, software developer, DeFi enthusiast. Julien is one of these guys who does 100 different things at the same time and seem to be great at everything. Welcome, Julien.
Thanks for having me. Hello.
So, Julian, as I ask each of my guests the big question, how you got into blockchain?
It's a bit of a long story, but the short story is so my background is mathematics and engineer. I moved to the States. I was involved. I mean, my master was in computer science, specialized in learning and DeFi systems. Stopped working for security defense company. Moved to Europe in Belgium. Then I had data center for that in my attic. And one of my friends in late 11 told me to challenge me to run this mathematical algorithm. It appeared to be Bitcoin. So then everything fall down into Mongkok's story and then Ethereum in 2015 in London because I went to a Bitcoin meetup and some people were talking about Ethereum. They were saying that it was a scam back then and Bitcoin was the best. And then I took a look into it and I got quite excited about it. And that's how I basically ended up in the blockchain world.
Oh my god, so that means you're one of these guys who just mined Bitcoin like at the very beginning and then maybe forgot about it and woke up one day and like, oh my god, what happened? This is amazing.
Well, that was not the very big, yeah, that was not the very beginning, but yeah, it was kind of late 2011, probably like 2 years after, a year and a half. But I mean, I woke up in my Mongkok's account basically. That's the MT Gox, the bank in Japan that had 80% of all the Bitcoin back then that got hacked by a Russian guy. So I'm still like in a part of the class auction with all these things. But yeah, it's a unique story, I would say. I mean, all the people part of this Mongox stuff.
Yeah, like this Mongox thing is such a famous event that happened in the blockchain world. Like, I almost wish I lost some Bitcoin in Mongox so that I can also say, yeah, I was part of Mongox. And
Well,
so,
I mean, you can. I mean, I was thinking about some people were actually talking about building an NFT badge because what you can do with Mongox, when you actually part of the class auction on Mongox, they give you access to a token, I mean, authentication token, a 2FA token on your phone that you can basically prove that you are part of this club. So you could actually easily make an NFT token for all the people that are actually part of this class auction or part of the MTGOX stolen accounts. And then you can basically prove that you were part of the, you got GOX basically. I'm
yeah,
not sure it's something that you want to say, but this is something that you can do. Yeah.
that's really cool. So you were doing this, and then you went from being a software developer to an entrepreneur and slash investor that runs an investment fund. So how did you make that switch?
Well, I'm still like a software developer. I basically spend most of my day, 50, 60% programming. I wouldn't say like maybe front-end programming, but mostly like back-end programming maybe. So basically, um, I left after 2 years in Belgium. I left Belgium, and then we went in Singapore. I was the CTO of a venture business capital as well over there, specialized in entrepreneurship. My friend asked me to go there. And then after a couple months, I left and went to London, where I started working for another startup. Was the first employee for the startup. After 2 years, I basically started my own company in consulting. That was machine learning consulting and all things about programming, mostly in web development. And in 2017, 2018, I basically focused the entire consulting company into blockchain. That's where right after that, I started building, working on new companies. Yeah, basically. So that's that's a long story.
So you started Stake Capital, so that's an investment fund focused on blockchain, and so you invest assets in different staking system.
Yeah, so right before Stake Capital, we started a company called Flying Carpet. Flying Carpet was a company specialized in data observation from space. So we used satellite data to make prediction on the financial market. So, for example, build a machine learning algorithm that can predict the production of coffee in Brazil, and then we could utilize that data to sell it to hedge fund. So then they can place a bet on the market. So any kind of commodity, and also like for example the carbon credits market. So you can basically monitor a piece of forest and then calculate the production of carbon, or like the absorption of carbon in the near future, and you can tokenize this. So all this kind of that was actually like really financial assets. And then I saw like the market migrating into proof of stake, and because of my experience in Bitcoin mining, I was like, Bitcoin mining and then Ethereum mining, I was like, oh wow, this is actually a huge opportunity, because I had personal assets and also friends assets that were they needed some validation. So instead of using those assets and then instead of using external services, I thought about building my own staking as a service, like underground staking as a service, but not a company. And then I saw that I quickly realized that it could be actually profitable. So that's how we start. So Stake Capital is to basically do validation on assets that are that need a validation. So we start with a few big partnership like BSO, that the ones that are used to Equinix. Equinix is the biggest servers worldwide. We also did like a massive partnership with AWS for cloud services, but not like just like free credits or whatsoever. It's actually like a real partnership with them. So, and then instead of doing this for ourselves, we thought about opening this kind of validation for the retails, and this is how we became probably like top 3 or top 5 in the staking as a service industry. So now Stake Capital is very well recognized in the market for doing validation for different assets. We do support about 18-20 different assets, and our specialization is we focus on different verticals. So we focus on decentralized finance, obviously, but also like music with Audius, game with Sora. We focus like on 3 different verticals because we want to be like an entire scope of blockchain and decentralization. And then 8-9 months ago, taking as a service is good. It's difficult to scale because you need to grow the team, but it requires a lot of time on DevOps. So then my background is really like into mathematics and quants, high frequency trading, arbitrage in the traditional market. So I'm very into decentralized finance. So then I thought about moving. So now staking as a service is only 20% of the business model of Stake. Liquidity provider, market makers, and most of the business model is about arbitrage. So that's what we do. We focus on the market. We build algorithms. We build different scripts for doing all these kind of like 3 biggest pillars: market makers, liquidity provider, and arbitrage.
And so you also start to focus on a lot of start to focus on DeFi. And have you looked into liquidation, for example?
The reason why I looked into liquidation was because we built the first flash loan on the market, and then as soon as we built flash loan, that's how we released Flashboy, Arbitrage DAO, and then a lot of people got interested in the flash loan, and soon after, I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks after, people actually start using flash loan to do some kind of hacks or vulnerabilities, depending how you describe such activity on a decentralized ecosystem. So we actually utilize those flash loans to just empower some arbitrage. And what you quickly realize is that flash loans are good for liquidation, because liquidation you need high high capital. You need like a huge amount of liquidity. That's actually, and then that amount of liquidity, that amount of arbitrage opportunity that you can capture on the market is actually reasonably big enough to cover the cost of borrowing money inside the liquidation. So back then there was like an AVE, there was a 0.35% fees on the money you could borrow. So for example, if you borrow 10,000 US dollars, and then you have 0.35% fees on the top of it. So you actually needed to have an opportunity, arbitrage opportunity at least of 35 US dollars. So it's actually, flash loans are good for liquidation, and this is how we actually end up doing flash loan for liquidation. But then we do all type of arbitrage.
Interesting. And so now with all these DeFi projects going on, like, are there a couple of projects that really interest you in particular?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'm a big fan. It depends on what you're looking into. I mean, in a vertical of DeFi, you have, for example, Paraswap. Paraswap is also like a French company, and the CEO is great. Paraswap is a decentralized aggregator. So you can basically swap any asset at the best market price, because they utilize like all the different routes, and then they find, for example, if you want to exchange 1,000 US dollars, like 1,000 DAI in 1,000 like 10 ETH, fine, and you want to buy DAI, then maybe your 10 ETH will be using Kyber, 0x, and then another DApp like Aave or like Curve, and then we'll like do like 10%, 20%, and then boom, you'll get all the DAI at the best price without like minimum slippage. And another project for yield, I think it's Curve.finance. I think Curve.finance is probably one of the biggest potential on the market at the moment. It's playing in the same kind of like basket of Uniswap, Balancer, Compound, and all the different things. But the advantage of Curve.finance is the one that is responsible, like the CEO and probably the CTO, Michael, is someone that actually builds everything. And so every day is actually shipping a new integration, a new pool, and etc. So it's very exciting because every day Curve.finance is moving very fast.
Yeah. Wow, like this is really fascinating.
So Curve.finance.
Go ahead.
Curve.finance, sorry, is actually an auto market maker. Market maker. Yeah. So compare. In traditional finance, you have market maker, so people that try to make the price or offer liquidity for people to buy certain of assets, and they buy and sell at the same time, and then they make profit on the spread. Curve.finance, at the moment, it's focused on stablecoin. Curve.finance provide on-chain algorithmic formula for doing auto market maker. So anyone provide liquidity into Curve will basically make a yield per year based on the fees that maintaining the peg at 1-to-1 is going into the pools.
And I think this is really huge because people don't realize it, but to be a market maker is actually quite complex. You need to know exactly how much to bid, how often to readjust your buy and sell orders, and so really that's out of reach for most people. So yeah, with Curve you can just send your token and boom, you're a market maker instantly. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, like what I really appreciate in our conversation is that so there are so many DeFi projects going on, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to know like which one are really worth focusing on. So yeah, it's really great to have like the insight of an investor that really have some interesting things to say about that. Thanks a lot, Julien. If people want to reach out to you, I guess they can contact you by Twitter.
Yeah, my Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll put it in.
Well, you can search the name online, Julien.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. Yeah. Okay, Julien. Well, thank you a lot for your time, and I wish you good luck for Stake Capital and all your blockchain project. Bye.